What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 32 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Grimgor Ironhide campaign. So as we saw last time, we witnessed the rise of the new orthodoxy as Erengrad fell and the old orthodoxy was destroyed once and for all. Azog is now able to move north, wherein he will hopefully beat up Archaon with the new army being built for him here, though we will be replacing some of the stuff, namely the Doom Divers, with some archers, because they will, well, they'll be nice in this particular army. And in terms of what we've got to do this particular turn, there was only one thing that we left over, and that was this: Grievous, rather. Do you attack Serpent Jetty and then immediately get attacked by KUGATH Plaguefather the next turn? Which you probably will be. The problem here is KUGATH himself with his insane HP and his insane regeneration and the presence of Uncle Furuncle as well. Granted, we'll be able to probably knock Uncle Furuncle down. Well, either way, I don't know whether we can succeed, but I do know it'll be difficult, and thus it'll be pretty fun, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's see what we need to get here. We have Itchy Nuisance, which is pretty darn necessary. Gorkill Fix is probably not gonna be crazy useful. If we have an extra 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we won't be able to reach the Curse of the Bad Moon. Which would have been nice. So I think we'll get Don't Even Try It. We don't get served by Goblin Tide, and we don't get served by Nastier Squigs here, so I think we'll go through Riders to buff up the Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Like so, and Du Bois already buffs the rest, and then we'll move through this and then buff them up. They ain't quite there to level 7, but they'll get there eventually. Alright, what about you? You guys will be casting most of the spells. We will need to spam Spirit Leech against Uncle Furuncle and probably KUGATH as well, so I think that's probably the way to do. Yeah, Spirit Leech it is, and we actually have 2 points remaining. Fate of Biuna is quite usable, and I think since there's a decent likelihood of overcasting, we'll go for Earthing here. Aspect of the Dread Knight, probably not going to be crazy useful, though funnily enough, 2 points in Doom and Darkness would give us a massive potential leadership hit to the enemy. Because the first one is, yeah... Is that better than Fate of Biuna and Spirit Leech, I wonder? Demonic units starting to crumble away sooner is not a bad thing. Alright, you know what? Let's go Doom and Darkness. Against the demons, at least. And we'll see if we can apply it at the exact right time to cause a bunch of them to shatter. I will still put the other point in Spirit Leech, however, and leave Fate of Biuna alone. Hey, you, sir, Mr. Orc Shaman. I guess you're just going to go into Power of the Law. And let's put a point in Air we go. I don't think we're going to get too much use out of Foot of Gork in this particular battle, but you know what? It's possible. Alright, now, Serpent Jetty. We're going to have to fight you manually in order to minimize casualties as much as possible. We still have a KUGATH to fight after all, so if we get too badly damaged, we, It is low casualties. It's risky. We could auto-resolve it and then loot and occupy. Oh, man. I wonder how badly this is gonna hurt us. It's low casualties. No, you know what? We're gonna, risk it. Alright. Damage, but it could have been worse. Loot and occupy. And yeah, we lost about 20%, 25%, maybe up to 40 to 50% on a few of our units there, which is certainly badly damaged, but on the other hand, I'm willing to bet that this means that KUGATH will in fact attack us, which is a good thing, because we want him to. We'll head outside of the settlement in Raiden Camp stance, so that we get the bonuses from that. And we'll repair Serpent Jetty, though obviously we're going to be trading this one away, as we don't care for it. Idols for you, and Mustafields for you as well. Alright, and with that, we're ready to end the turn, and let's see if we can't hold Mr. KUGATH off. Skip the low fightiness, because we don't care about you. Garrison Lord Not Moved, Unassigned Skill Points, Building Upgrades, Lord Not Moved, Commandment available. In Karagnar, yes, one of our new territories, so give it here. And is this the only one? I think it is. Outpost upgrade available. Yeah, keep upgrading the outposts. We have plenty of cash to go around. And there we go. Let's see what KUGATH does. 99% sure he should attack, especially now that our army is damaged. Alright, there he is. He will not attack. Oh, wow. Well, there goes my 99%. Peace treaty with Nakari? No, Nakari, no, don't be silly. But Serena Katrin will revive and will attack Kraka Treehugger. And it would have been nice if we could do this without Serena Katrin present. But I guess we've not much choice in the matter. A Pyrrhic victory. Let's see if we can pull this one off, shall we? It's gonna be iffy. It's certainly gonna be iffy. Go. Alrighty, here we go. I am expecting a very nice battle here, especially as, well, this army is just a random pile of units put together. How effective they'll be remains to be seen. Fortunately, we do have a Black Orcs to hold the hill, only 4 of them, and a couple of units of Biggins, but hopefully that will be sufficient. Looks like the enemy is going to move forward with some Kossovite archers to annoy us a little bit, so we're going to stay up on the hill, but move down a little bit and to allow our archers to fire back. They're going to get hit by a few spills. The bitterness of winter comes down, but the much more bitter arrows are going to come down on the enemy as well, and those Kossovite archers are going to have a pretty bad day. Granted, it's only Gabo archers, but they should be able to melt the extremely fragile Kossovites with their 15 armor within a couple of volleys. Alright, let's say 1 or 2 more volleys, and I think this is definitely going to be one of those situations where the Buy Our Blood activation is going to work against them. They are unbreakable for 30 seconds, which means a couple more volleys of arrows, and thus they'll go down to a man. However, they did what Skirmisher Cav is supposed to do, annoy us to a little bit, and allow the rest of the army to move forward. Warbear Riders and more Kossovite Dervishes are going to come forward as they've been screened by the Skirmisher Cav. Over on this side, there's some light war sleds, but these 2 units of Night Goblin Archers will take those, and we will continue holding the hill. We've deployed in a pretty good way. We've got the woods protecting us over on this side, and we've got the impassable terrain and more woods blocking us on this side, plus we have the height advantage. The enemy has, let's say, eliteness of the army superiority, plus a level 18 Serena Katrin to lead as well, and plenty of magics, whereas we basically don't have magics whatsoever. We do have our Forest Goblin Spider Riders here, however, waiting to get in the middle of the fray with the enemy range units, but we gotta wait until the enemy Zargard make their way forward. Alrighty, Troll is gonna try to hold up some of those Warbear Riders here together with those Biggins. And the spells are going to come down as well. Giants are making their way forward. We're definitely going to need help at dealing with those Warbear Riders, and the Giants should be able to do quite a bit with regards to that. The enemy Elemental Bear is moving forward as well, hitting the Black Orcs with shields. And we are going to have most of our range units target the Elemental Bear at the same time as spam Spirit Leeches and whatever we can, magic-wise, to damage the thing. Hopefully we can heavily damage the Elemental Bear as well as the Warbear Riders, basically all the bears, before the Zargard are able to do too much, as we don't want to allow them to support. Alright, here we go. Sword and Board Zargard versus Sword and Board Black Orcs. Black Orcs are superior units to Zargard, so they should win over time, but that's without the consideration of the big units supporting, and without consideration of spells flying around from Serena Katrin. More Zargard here with the great weapons, and I would actually like to see the comparison between Zargard with great weapons versus Sword and Board Black Orcs. as that's a much closer matchup than great weapons versus great weapons. Anyway, looks like the enemy Warbear Riders are in pretty bad shape. The Trolls and the Giants are doing their thing, though it looks like more enemies have moved out from the trees here and are starting to overwhelm our biggins. Fortunately, the enemy Elemental Bear is just about dead, and our Forest Goblin Spear Riders have finally found the time to move out of the woods there. A couple more volleys into the Elemental Bear, and down it should go. Alrighty, finally. No more Elemental Bear, but there's still Zargard to consider. We've also sallied out with some of our Orc Biggins and some of our Black Orcs into some great weapon armored Khazars, while the enemy regular Khazars are stopped from firing anymore, as the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are among them. Obviously, charging the Zargard with the Forest Goblin Spider Riders would have been ugly for us, but the Khazars should prove not particularly problematic. Alright, how's that balance of power looking? Still in the enemy's favor. The Zargard getting much more value out of the by our blood than the fragile units would be, and we'll continue to fight those Black Orcs in a very, very nice battle line. This turned out to be a pretty cool cinematic battle, I gotta say. Enjoy watching all those Khazavites trying to make their way up the hill, but, well, those Black Orcs staring down at you gotta be a pretty scary sight, and that's without considering the oh my lord! I was about to say without considering the Giants, and then the Giant hit one of the units there, and their head went flying off. Now, nice kick. A nice kick right into the enemy line. There we go. Trolls and Giants most definitely holding. Even the Biggins on our flanks are holding, though they're down below half HP at this point. Balance of power has shifted very slightly in our favor now, though the battle continues. Serena Catrin are running around in the background as well, but we can't really do too much to catch her, as we're a little bit busy. Bad we didn't have any units that we could have sent after her, but we really needed everything to defend the main line, as it was otherwise looking pretty ugly. Still getting plenty of support from our Night Goblins and applying that poison to the enemy, though I'm sure applying poison to us as well in many situations, and due to that friendly fire. And it looks like the battle is shifting very much in our favor. Zargard will fail to break the Black Orcs, and the Trolls and the Giants have brought down most of the enemy larger units. The enemy range have been surrounded and prevented from firing and otherwise destroyed, and by the Spiders, who are now going to allow the rest of our Orc Biggins and whatever infantry remains to move in. Serena Catrin is still in the fight, but not for much longer. She watches her personal guard and gets, well, I guess her personal guard would probably be the Ice Guard, as she buffs them rather than the Zargard, but you know, nonetheless, watches her personal guard get absolutely obliterated. Just a few more units on the flanks. And it looks like the enemy has made their way forward with some Streltsy as well into the melee, and that ain't a great idea. There we go, By Our Blood activates as the rest of the enemy army will shatter, allowing us to get a few more hits in before they all continue or completely run away. We're going to try to chase Serena Catrin down. I don't know if it's possible because we just don't have the damage here, and frankly a Goblin Great Shaman trying to bring her down while she's on that bear seems fairly unlikely, but we'll give it a shot. Plenty of other units to chase, but we are good. Very nice. What a great battle. Alright, very happy with the result there. I wasn't expecting that particular battle to go as well as it did, but well, it did go, and it looks like most of the units did quite well as well. I was quite impressed with the With the enemy Zargard with great swords, in fact. One of them absolutely ripped into one of our units. Now, for Black Orcs, I think that was probably this unit, as that's where so much damage to our army came from. So, good job to you. Serena Catherine escaped, but that's basically her entire garrison, so we can feel free to, I guess, heal up and auto-resolve it next turn. Maybe I could have done Slaughter Captives for the bonus control, but whatever. Join war against the Golden Order. I was saving that before for some reason, but I didn't remember what it was anymore, so I'm going to say no. Besides, it looks like they're dead. The 1,000 Maws will attack the World Walkers. Yes, we'll enter the war on the side of our ally, though I expect that the World Walkers should be able to handle them. And I guess everybody around them should be able to handle them, hopefully. We'll see. Clan Scryer wants us to join war against Modron. We'll take Modron ourselves. No need. No need for your help. Military access with Camry. I'm actually shocked that Cetra is still alive up there. He's in an awful position and in the old world map. And a non-aggression pact with a Decadent Host. I guess they're only strength rank 11. I guess they like us now that we're fighting with Archaon, eh? They don't like our treaties with the Exiles of Khorne, but yeah, they love the fact that we're fighting the War Host of the Apocalypse. I don't really care about Sigval, to be perfectly honest. He's too weak for us to actually bother fighting. The real question with him is whether Scarbrand will be fighting him or not, so we'll have to figure that one out. Decline this for now, I think. We may or may not do this, depending. Festus, the Bestus, you want us to join war against the Everliving. Why don't you take care of the Everliving, and maybe Grimgor doesn't have to fight all your battles for you. Festus is lucky he's too weak to bother fighting. Join war against Karakadrin? Yeah, we probably will at some point. Or we'll leave them to die where they are. Red Fangs want military access. We'll either kill them off ourselves or confederate them. They don't seem to want to confederate yet, but that'll change eventually. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? That's an odd thing to do, but okay. Oh, is this perhaps their last settlement? I didn't even realize. It still seems like an odd thing to do, though. Alright, so, let's see what we got here. Defeated Serena Catherine. Oh, and now gives the campaign movement range plus 10. That at least isn't horrible. Casualties suffered from attrition, kind of irrelevant to orcs, to be perfectly honest. Ally occupies settlement. No, they didn't. They raised it. We told you to occupy it so you could have the entire province, damn it. Oh, Scarvy, why are you like this? You got a tiny little gold sigil sword, but you don't need it. Alright, we'll take this out in a second. Let's just see what's going on here. Snorko, who the heck is Snorko? Oh, you're this guy, right. Yeah, you're down here. Okay, we will maybe give you some items if you actually get into combat with anything that actually threatens us, but otherwise we don't really care. Camry, ally mission successful. Oh, I haven't checked ally missions in a while, have I? Probably shouldn't. Bigger and better bosses. Imminent rebellion in the West Hellspire Mountains. Monolith of Airlock. I was going to trade you to Khorne. Oh, well, the fact that we're raiding it is probably not super helpful. And this place is also not super happy about any of this. Someone receives plague, someone receives plague. Okay, that was always going to happen. KUGATH has moved away. I wonder if he'd be willing to fight this army. We can reach him, so he would be willing to fight. That would basically end his faction, and I guess we'll find out in a little bit. But we have other stuff to do. First of all, Maggots, go to Draumere Valley, and I guess we're going to send you out to Vanaheimling home to transfer that to Khorne as well. Colonize for 5k. Normally I would balk at this kind of expense, but right now, obviously, it hardly matters. Grimgor, you have a date with Vladdy Daddy, who is damaged now. Oh, guys, stop getting damaged. I mean, damage. Maybe I should just take Kritzhofen and, you know, transfer it to the ogres so they survive. They could probably have a full territory. Now it looks like the Golden Order will fall next turn, but anyway. And Grame, you're gonna go into March stance, so you're gonna go right here, as close to the Glade of Eternal Midnight as you can, and then Knobber, you're gonna follow suit. And together, you shall go after this final Wood Elven territory. By the looks of it next turn, though. Alright, jump around. Alright, Spite Blood Reaper. How are we doing down here? Ruinous Assault Spite has revived over Trantio, but we cannot reach her with you. But we can reach her with another army, so that's just fine. So, we'll jump you right here. Nobody was gonna intercept you anyway, and frankly, even if they were, it wouldn't have worked. Miragliano has been taken. I wonder, wait. Before we do anything, I need to find a lord like you, sir. I wonder if that did anything to the cost of our Skaven ally units. Yes, it did. It lowered the allegiance required for the Warp Legacies to 37 from 43. Now, the Jezzails need to be... Okay, wait. Maggot, how long would it take you to build them? Is it 1 turn or 2? We need to build them so that they're not wasted. That's 2 turns here. This guy's a little bit far to transfer to Mugga de Leech, which I don't particularly like. We need somebody else to do it. Alright, we'll get another temporary lord. Somewhere where it's all green, though. Chenhild's Monolith, let's do that. Goblin Boss, Choppa Envy, doesn't really matter. You're gonna go into here, and you're going to recruit another one of these Scryer units for a range army. And we'll keep an eye on the other Scryer allies. Septic, you still don't have access to those guys, I believe, though I suppose we could build a Doom Wheel. It's technically range. It's range enough for our purposes, I guess. If we can't get access to more snipers, which would have been nice. The other Skaven just don't have enough allegiance for us yet. But anyway, let's keep moving everybody in order, and then we'll deal. Arachnic Spiderclaw, you're heading to Ostermark to try to destroy what remains of them. And then I guess looping around to attack Vlad as well. Smothink and Stila, you're gonna go and annoy Vlad because he's the only one that's nearby, and you're gonna run out of steel tech in 2 turns. Damn. I guess Big Think and Stila, you're coming down there as well. Alright, well, what can you do? Alright, that was Arachnic. Who's next? Gorkill Gutstabber, you have your new and improved army. Let's see, can we reach Carl? It looks like we're just short of being able to reach him. Oh well, a bit of a shame, but we can go right outside of his settlement and fight him next turn with our new and improved army, and him with a better army than he had before. You, Gouger, just sit here. Sit, relax. Grab this mysterious island, then continue relaxing. Since we don't have much use for that Hydra, unfortunately, those who escaped, I guess, doesn't really matter. Alright, and Press Gang doesn't really help us, and neither should you be holding on to that luck stone. Alrighty, so, who was after you? That was Gorkill, Oglok the Boreable. And you're next. Now you can head to Crooktail Peak, and it looks like it's the only place that you can reach, huh? Yeah, alright, Crooktail Peak it is, since, well, the only option is the option that we're going to take. I guess we could also try to head off KUGATH, but might as well keep taking territories here. Want to grab that Forest of Size and then Monolith there as well. Auto-resolve you. And occupy... yeah, don't even bother looting it. And just build some garbage here so that we can transfer it to Scarby, and it'll be worth more, and we'll force him to declare war on every single other faction that we can, well, get him to declare war on. Alright, that's not bad. Just gotta make sure that we're not collecting income from anywhere here. Don't collect income here as well. Oh, I was gonna trade this to Scarby, but at the same time, we might be able to trade the coastline from Scarby and give him all this chaotic stuff for the coast. That'd probably be a better use of everybody's efforts. I'll think about it. Frankly, I don't think I care that much about that level of admin at this point in the game, but if I have time between the episodes, maybe. Greebits, it's time for you to move, my friend, and I guess you're going to give it a try. Let's see if KUGATH's willing to fight, or if he is only willing to run. I'd like a nice fight for you. Let's see if he's willing. He is willing. Pyrrhic victory and casualties medium. Yeah, see, that sounds about right. That fecundity healing on top of his own spells and healing on top of the massive artillery strikes that KUGATH is capable of should make this for a pretty interesting fight. I should have checked whether we had levels, but it's too late now, so away we go.
you say so.
Alrighty, here we go. Gribbets and the Savage Orcs versus KUGATH. Can we pull this one off? We shall have to see. KUGATH himself and his little pet Uncle Furuncle are going to be the major threats here, obviously. Though by the looks of it, we do have the advantage of this pile of trees, this copse of trees, right in the middle of the enemy formation. Now, granted, the trees will also protect the enemy plague drones from our anti-large arrow fire. But at the same time, it'll also make it quite difficult for Mr. KUGATH to get all that artillery fire down, so I'll take it, I'll certainly take it. Alrighty, plague drones come down, our own big boys are entering the fray now as well. The Rogue Idol, and hopefully we'll get some nice matchup between him and Uncle Furuncle. And we've got all of the other Savage Orcs entering the fray as well. Though KUGATH is currently just hanging around back there, we're going to have to send some boar boys in to distract him just so he doesn't fire upon our battle lines. Oh man, I wonder if the orcs are getting confused, because they're green, the enemy's green, it's all green, which normally they would appreciate. And our magics are green, and their magics are green as well. And the orcs keep saying green is superior, but to which green? I guess probably not the sickly green of the Nurglites, but hey. Alrighty, there we go. KUGATH is now in a fight with those boar boys who have taken 15% of their HP off with basically their charge, and obviously the enemy will summon Nurglings right below KUGATH as well to help out. And continue chucking Nurglings at us as well. And ooh, there's the Exalted Plague Bearers firing into the back of the Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins, who drop quickly to about half HP. Definitely have to be careful about that, and we're going to back them off rather than allowing the enemy to do, well, hopefully too much more damage. Ouch. Run, Savage Orc Boar Boys, that is problematic. Otherwise, though, the battle lines are going somewhat in our favor here. Looks like our Rogue Idol is having a decent time. Uncle Furuncle is down to about half of his HP and is surrounded by the Riblaratlas here, who are a unit of bone clubbers and very much specialized at this sort of thing with their magical damage, their banishment, and their anti-large. Threatening or not, Uncle Furuncle is not having a great time, that we can't get too... Oh, actually, I was about to say we can't get too many cool shots of him, but that's actually a pretty cool shot, so... I stand corrected. Alright, and at the same time, we are supporting the Bone Clubbers against Uncle Furuncle with the range Error Boys, who are, I'm sure, doing plenty of damage. Furuncle's in trouble. Looks like KUGATH has entered the fray in the middle of the army as well, most likely so that he did not have to just fight the Boar Boys, as there were a fair few of them there, or perhaps just to help his main line. Furuncle finally drops, and the range units will all now switch to targeting KUGATH. KUGATH is still on the field and at about half HP, and he does have regeneration, so we do have to be careful about that. But the balance of power has shifted to about 70%, maybe 65% in our favor. Nurglings and Plague Bearers continue fighting against Bone Clubbers and Savage Orc and Biggins, which is also, I think, a pretty interesting matchup. There's those arrows coming down on KUGATH as he tries to move away on his chair. And he's miscast, nice. And let's chase him down as well. The Riblaratlas, we got more Bone Clubbers, and, well, they did so well against Uncle Furuncle, we may as well have them deal with KUGATH as well. By the looks of it, they're considerably more effective than the Boar Boys at doing that sort of thing, because, well, I guess the Boar Boys, not enough units get a model at once, so it looks like the Bone Clubbers are going to be superior at that. Meanwhile, the Boar Boys can handle all the enemy piles of infantry, or at least such as remain. The Festering Stooges going down. It looks like the enemy main line is beginning to collapse as well, as the balance of power has shifted to about 85% in our favor. Rogue Idol still in the middle of the fray, applying, I'm sure, plenty of damage. Let's see what we got here. Well, only 20 kills, but 13k damage. Yeah, it hasn't killed a lot of models, but it has certainly dealt damage. KUGATH A few more hits and it looks like you're finally gonna go down. There we go, and it looks like the bone clubbers are pretty happy about that sort of thing. Yeah, 36k damage, damn, bone clubbers. I'm very impressed with your performance here. Just a little bit more. Man, imagine how powerful the bone clubbers are if you're playing as WAAAGH. Gotta be pretty ridiculous. But I guess all of them, I mean all the Savage Orcs are going to be pretty ridiculous under WAAAGH because he buffs them to an insane degree. Making them OP, and that's his thing. It's too bad that we couldn't build these Savage Rogue Idols here. I would have liked a few. And just to match our Savage Orcs, but well, not a big deal. It's not like the regular Rogue Idols. I'll look all that bad. Anyway, with that, the battle is ours as the last of the enemy units melt away. We chase it down. What other... Is that a cultist? The demons be forsaken. Ah, yes, they had one non-demonic unit that we had to chase down, but not to worry. We can... Oh, I was about to say do it off screen, but here we are. Ooh, alright, there we go. We did manage to keep the River Troll Hag alive, though she got almost absolutely wrecked by those Chaos Knights pretty instantly. But hey, we were able to defeat KUGATH, and while we are certainly hurt, that was certainly a fight worth fighting. We're not so hurt that we can't continue eat the captives, even though they've all been destroyed. And most of them are demons, so good luck eating those anyway. And, well, actually, the chance of plague spreading faction-wide ain't too bad when you're facing off against plagueinating factions, and when you're allied with Skaven, because they just keep getting their own plagues up everywhere. Unfortunately, it looks like ague will cause us to suffer attrition, which is going to be an issue. We'll still need to take these settlements over, but all while we have ague. And that'll be interesting. What'll also be interesting is the fight against the Slaneshi here with our Night Goblin Squighopper army, herd, whatever, now that we have it. But alas, we're out of time, and we're going to have to save that to next episode. So I'm going to call it here. We will hopefully destroy Nakari next time, and possibly even destroy KUGATH as well as we continue moving through Norska. And Grimgor has begun his journey to the end of the campaign and the final battle at Castle Drakenhof, and the last probably remaining threat on the entire map. So, well, I'll also probably want to knock out a few of these things, but we'll have to build some units in order to do so. And, wait, how long until Skarsnik revives? We got 3 turns. Okay, well, that may take a while considering how long it takes to do anything right now. But anyway, more orcs to come, just a little bit more, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they will determine how often we post this. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.